Okay, break's over. Here I thought crossbows finally beginning to stabilize. Maybe I should cut my loss and find a way out of state while I still can. Hey there, wanna play? The mist is gone, you know what that means. Time to get your gambling on again. Come on in and have some fun. In my opinion, there's absolutely nothing wrong with us opening our doors right now. Entertainment, after all, is but a tool to divert us from worry and rest our weary souls. So why don't take a break from these troubling times and enjoy a few games with us? I don't believe you, Rick. What are you still doing here? You're coming home right this instant. Hold your horses, woman. At least let me exchange my tokens. Shut your mouth. I am not having it. Oh, for the love of Adios. Does this imbecile not realize how worried I was about him? I'm cutting off his allowance. No more extra mirror for games or anything for that matter. Just when the mist cleared and I finally got in the mood to play some slots, my old battle axe comes marching in. I must have really worried her this time. The stable hasn't been the same since Miss Ray Toroso returned to Calvard. Our thrilling matches together were the highlight of my days. Hopefully she'll come back to our establishment once Crossbill's at peace again. Welcome to Bark, everyone. Leave your worries at the door and play the day away. You're headed for the mysterious tree, aren't you, Randy? Damn, should have known better than try to hide anything from you, Drake. Please, I'd like to imagine I know you well enough after all this time. Just don't forget the hefty tab you owe me. Those drinks won't pay for themselves. And if you think you can wriggle out of it by dying up there, you've got another thing coming, understand? And keep in mind that's supposed to be you have another think coming, I believe. It's weird, I think it's Old English or something like that. It's like one of the most it's, I guess, misused phrases or misinterpreted? I don't know. Yeah, I hear ya. Don't sweat it, I'll make sure we're square one of these days. Guess that's just the way these two showed their concern. Hey gang, how's it hanging? Lecter, you're back at the casino, and in your vacation clothes too. Good to know one of us is relaxed. What happened to your suit, if I may ask? One of those magic golem things went and put a tear in it while we were duking it out earlier. So I'm here to drink and party in its honor. I'll bet you are. Anyway, thanks for helping us with the operation, Lecter. We may not be able to break into Orca's tower without your aid. Don't sweat it, I had a blast. Sure as hell beats doing desk work. It's nice getting some exercise in. You know, for an undercover spy, you really wound up stealing the show back there. Killica too, for that matter. Who'd have thunk you guys could hold your own in a fight? I mean, those fencing skills and that high little art, not just the kind of stuff just anyone can pick up overnight. If you really want to know, I guess I can throw you a bone on some of my secrets. It all started 30 years ago today. I went on a pilgrimage deep in the Isengard Range, where an old hermit told me all I know. Like anyone's gonna believe that. Whatever you say, friendo. Hey, no one said you had to believe it. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. Anyway, it's probably about time for me to skedaddle on back to to Erebonia soon. 50 tokens says the old man's gonna be needing my help again before long. Am I misunderstanding something? Did the Blood and Iron Chancellor not go missing after being shot? As I recall, the Noble Alliance made their move during the chaos caused by the Iron's assault on the Imperial Army. Yep, they've been occupying Heimdall for, going on 2 months now. I swear, it's like making enemies is the old man's hobby. Wish he'd realize how tough it is for us to clean up after him. But all that aside, I have my doubts that even a bullet through the chest could kill him that easily. You seem pretty sure of that. Not concerned at all? Pot, meat, kettle. From where I'm staying, whether the Noble Alliance wins or old man Gileath makes a last-second comeback, Crossbill's fate is sealed either way. Well, we don't know for sure what the future holds for us, but before anything else, we're going to head for that Azure tree and bring Kia home. Good on ya. Looking toward tomorrow is important and all. I think there may be a missing word on that one. Looking toward tomorrow... Oh no, I'm misreading this. Looking toward tomorrow is important and all, but you're bound to trip if you don't watch your step here and now. There's a reason people always say to focus on what's right in front of you. That's what really matters. That's good advice, even if it does sound a little off coming from you. Still, we'll take it to heart, thanks, Lecter. Just try and make sure your struggles pay off, alright? I want to find out later that sticking around was a big waste of time. Oh, you actually could play the slots. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. When the mist cleared, I thought I'd be able to open up shop again, but now there's that huge tree in the distance. Wait, I've got it. Big blue tree got you hot under the collar? Cool off with some ice cream. Hell's up with that crazy-ass tree? It's gotta be breaking a law of physics or two. Hard to party with that thing in the background. This is seriously cramping my style. We gotta visit Lady Elia while we were helping at the hospital. She told us the rest of the troop is practicing their hardest right now and that they need our support more than ever. If Lady Elia wishes it, so it shall be. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and cheer like I've never cheered before. You can do this, Sully. Good luck, Arkansas. We can't wait to see you make your big comeback. Never have I seen Crossbell in such a state of turmoil, but there's no time to panic. Our mission remains the same, to perform for our audience again the moment we can. Crossbell is still in a state of emergency, but it's a relief that we can finally make contact with others around the city. First things first, we need to gather as much information on the situation as we can. Elia called in to offer a few words of encouragement to the troops a little while ago. Even now, she takes it upon herself to keep our spirits up. What a woman. It was such a relief to hear Elia's cheery voice again. Nothing that's happened has fazed her one bit. We can't let her down. No matter what happens to Crossbell, I want to continue devoting my mind, body, and soul to my performance. As long as I do that, I'll have no reason to waver. Maybe that sounds naive, but it's what Elia taught me. Hearing her voice through the phone reignited my passion for the theater. It had been so long since I last heard Elia's voice. I'm so glad she's alright. Wish we knew more about that giant tree, but for now, all we can do is keep rehearsing our tails off. I'm fixing up Elia's costume right now. After all, every garment has to be ready to grace the stage at a moment's notice. I'm sure this one will see the spotlight again someday, too. Hey there, Triple S. We finally heard back from Maester Jurg not too long ago. He agreed to rebuild our set pieces and automata for us right away. It's great news, I'll say. Usually it's us calling the Meister and not the other way around. Talk about once in a blue tree. I'm so happy when I could sprout wings and fly. Maester Jurg must have been worried about his associates at the theater. Wish him luck in finishing the job quickly. And here's the big one, folks. We should get an achievement after this. What's wrong, Sully? Nothing. I was praying is all. I mean, this is technically an altar, even if it's just a stage prop. Guess so. Didn't really take you for the praying type, soldier. Any particular thing you're ringing Adios up for today? Randy, it's a prayer, not a house call. Give the girl some privacy. I don't mind. I don't think it's any secret that I'm praying for Elia. But I also snuck in one for you guys, too. What? You prayed for us, Sully? I don't really get what's happening, but you guys are trying to rescue Kia, right? Wherever it is you're going, I bet it's going to be dangerous. That's why I'm praying for all of you, especially Risha. Thank you, Sully. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. Don't make such a big deal out of it. Besides, Kia is my friend too. So you guys better rescue her. Got it? Yeah, consider it done. Oh yeah, before you go, there's something I want you to have. What is it? Sully took off her cap and handed it to Lloyd. Receive Sully's cap. Your cap? Wish I could go with you guys and bring Kia back too. I know I can't ask that though, so instead I want you to take my favorite cap with you. You'll hold on to it, right? Of course. If it's important to you, then it's important to us. Yes, we'll take good care of it. Okay, good. Be careful out there, Triple S. You too, Risha. I will, I promise. The girls are all right. That's a silver trophy, man. And then if you want to see her cap, it's one of the best evasion accessories in the game. 5 move, 15 speed. It's like the annoying part is we lose out. Oh. Oh, we may not need that, so I'm going to come back to that. Just remember I took off the evade quartz, so I'd be at 105 if I were to equip this. So you guys went and visited Elia? Several times, yeah. She's as lively as ever and getting livelier. Sounds about right. Were you there too, Risha? Yes, though I stand outside the door. I'm still not ready to see her face to face. But I do want to apologize to you, Sully. I'm sorry for worrying you. Hey, don't make this about me. Honestly, I'm relieved you finally went to see her. Now I know you won't go running off again. Sully. My bad, didn't mean to be so blunt. Anyway, I'll be sitting tight over here until you guys come back safe. Just don't keep us waiting too long this time, okay? I won't. Even now, we have fans outside the theater demonstrating their support. Between them and Elia's words of encouragement, we could be more blessed. You know something? We really are fortunate to be performers. We owe it all and more to everyone who supported us. That's why I'll work harder than ever to make our comeback a reality. No one over here. You can't go over there. Oh well. Will they even let us up? Nope. Walking around the theater is a good idea right now. The evacuees returned to their homes after we learned that the president was taken in custody. The enormous tree is still a mystery to us, but the mist is cleared up and the city appears to be settling down. In the meantime, the Hotel Millennium will be taking extra precautions in case things take another turn for the worse. Well, that's good to know. Leticia made it clear that she intends to continue operating the hotel regardless of how it affects our profit margins. These are trying times for all us cross-Bellans. I'll have to draw on my decades of experience having to support her through this. Okay, they all bailed. The evacuees are finally able to return home after the mist lifted. Crossbell isn't out of the woods quite yet, but it did raise my spirits when they all thanked us before leaving. Our manager instructed us to prepare additional emergency provisions as a precaution. Essential goods are dwindling within the state, however, and it wouldn't be right to take them away from those in need. We contacted the government to ask whether the import freeze will be lifted soon. I don't know what that giant glowing tree's deal is, but it's barking up the wrong tree if it thinks it's going to stop my barking. I have a job to do. We're all struggling right now, so there's this strange feeling of solidarity among all the working gals. I don't even care about competing for top hostess with my rival anymore. Treating our guests to some good company and their favorite drink is satisfying enough for me. Hey there, want to stop by our club? We're throwing a mega happy hour to celebrate the arrest of President Qua. Just keep our Independence Day sale from a while back on the down low, got it? Come on, Eric, have a drink with me. That spooky mist is all gone. What better time to party it up? Go home, Sandra, you're drunk. It's only a matter of time before Hayway returns and seizes control of Crossbell's underworld. They may not share Ravash's taste for the limelight, but their influence is everywhere in the shadows. Already can see traces of it threading its way into the back alley. I'm going to have to be more careful. Eric is such a downer, but that's what I love about him. That could have been a secret dungeon, man. So, Qua was arrested and massive trees appeared in the wetlands, eh? The Orbital is being flooded with theories left and right, especially when it comes to that overgrown sapling. This could be my big chance to push it as a brand new tourist attraction. Wow, that is one of the most twisted things I think I've ever heard in a video game. Like, on one hand I'm jealous I didn't think of it first, but wow. That way I could rake in the riches after our diplomatic ties are fixed. Yep, just imagine. Hey, see that giant tree over there killing everyone and everything around it? That's our new tourist attraction. The city is more peaceful now, but there's still this sinking feeling in the air. That giant tree showing up makes it hard to feel otherwise. Maybe I could recommend some good books for people to take home and unwind with. I don't think there's anything there. Like, I know where the 2 recipes are because I kept worrying that I was going to miss them, so I looked them up. Good morning, welcome to the Crossville City Library. I figured we wouldn't have many visitors today, But I can't blame anyone for staying inside on account of that mysterious tree looming in the distance. Abby's been so anxious since the lockdown, so I thought I could help him relax by reading him a book. Hopefully Mark and the Witch of the Deep Forest will do the trick. Hurry and read, Mom, please. Should hit the kid with the book for that. Assert dominance and such. This is one sticky situation Crossbell's gotten itself into. Still, it's times like these when all of us need to come together. Go and get him, Speaker McDonald. Crossbell won't back down so easily. Come on, youngsters, you join in too. How's everyone doing? If you're tired of everyone gulping down a sport in X, it's not one of my original creations, but I still think you'll like it. One bottle will perk you right up so you can face the day full of energy. Just what is the deal with that gigantic tree, and why is it glowing pale blue? Thought I had seen it all this year, but I guess I was wrong. Wait, don't tell me that you guys are thinking of climbing that thing. We are. This is a fight we can't back down from, friends. We'll leave you guys to look after the city in the meantime. Yeah, we've got it covered. Just be careful up there, okay? Now that I think about it, we may need to turn on all the memory quartz. Fran, where are you? Hi, kid. Good to see you again, Special Sports Section. Same to you, Rebecca. You're back at the front counter at headquarters, I see. That's right, Officer Kate, Detective Raymond, and the others have also returned to their usual duties. At present, we are no longer under the Defense Force's chain of command. Now that things are back to normal, we are all working to respond to the situation from our respective posts. Good to know progress being made, at least. We have your efforts to thank for that. And before you go, could you deliver a message to Fran for me? Tell her that I have the reception desk covered, and she can devote herself to helping you, all of you, until this is over. Understood. Fran will be delighted to hear that. Look out for things at headquarters first in the meantime, okay, Rebecca? Of course, I'm ready to give everything I have for the sake of the citizens. There's still much to be done before all this is resolved. Best of luck out there, Triple S. You've been hard at work filling out the combat notebook. Getting something to... Nah, I don't think I'll have time. Thank you very much. Here's your notebook back. Please accept this compensation, 1500 Mira, 3E material. Don't forget to stop by once you collect more monster data, okay? We will. We'll keep you updated. You brought me a data fragment. I'll have to deliver it to our forensics team to have the cult terminal data analyzed. Is that alright with you? Go right ahead. Just a moment then. Page 3 decrypted. Page 1 decrypted. Page 2 decrypted. Page 4 decrypted. In Terminal 1 fully decrypted. All data information in Terminal 1 has been successfully analyzed. Would you like to go over it now? Please. On our order. My name is Joaquin Gunter, High Priest of DG. 6 years ago, our order was on the brink of extinction due to the efforts of the authorities and Bracer Guild. I alone escaped danger and took refuge in this land of origin. It was the guidance of the great D that helped me survive, so I could realize the ambitions of our order. Since the time will surely come, I will record the data in each of these terminals on which they shall base the New Testaments. To discuss the origins of our order, I'll first have to turn to the abominable history of the Zemurian continent. The Great Collapse approximately 1200 years ago marked the end of an advanced civilization and with it the established order, giving rise to the bloodshed and poverty of the Dark Ages. In their fatigue, the people committed a grave sin. They let themselves be deluded by the flattery of pompous fools and accepted their invented self-centered cult with open arms. The foolish Septian Church and their symbol that got us to the sky. The Dark Ages met its demise, and this faith spread throughout the continent. Let us consider, if said goddess truly existed, can we not assume that she would bestow equal salvation upon all of us? However, disparity yet exists, and people continue to perish in disasters and misfortunes. Does that mean said goddess discriminates upon whom she shall bestow salvation? This thought alone is too ludicrous for words. In the end, she is merely an idol invented by the Septian Church to amass power. A goddess as such simply does not exist. Having reached that conclusion, our predecessors embarked on a long journey to find a true god. Their efforts were not in vain. For the dawn of the Middle Ages, in the depths of this land, they found the possessor of great power and eternal slumber. She was known as D. Data appears to be an entry about the cult itself, so it's true that their creed really did center around rejecting Adios. Really fits with what Joaquin told us at the Sunfort. I need to take another break, man. My mind's just not in it at the moment. What about this D? Do we still not know what it stands for? It appeared to symbolize what they believed to be the true goddess over Adios. It's also known that the G in the DG cult's name denotes what they refer to as true wisdom, Gnosis. Well, it puts to head the question of why D therefore G actually means. If I remember correctly, Joaquin said that Kia would become the true god. Wouldn't that imply that D is another word for Kia? Does that make sense? Just how much did that bastard Joachim know? Still got too many questions left to answer. Right, unfortunately there were a lot of things that Joachim chose not to tell Ernest either. I couldn't help but wonder just how well he'd understand the particulars of the cult, had we managed to capture him alive. Regardless, I think we'll be able to learn quite a bit if we continue analyzing these information terminals. Should try the remaining fragments to decrypt more data. Terminal 2 decrypted. I'm stopping here for a bit. Gnosis. Gnosis is a drug made from paloma grass, a legendary plant which grows directly on top of septium veins. The way it is prepared together with the D gives the user enhanced physical abilities and sensory receptivity, and draws out their latent power. These effects, however, are mere preparations. The real potential lies elsewhere. Gnosis allows users to link their mind to the revered spirit of D. By doing so, D can draw knowledge from the connected minds and thereupon stimulate her growth. When enough knowledge is amassed to achieve wisdom, D will be resurrected. Ah, Christ. If you find any other quartz fragments, bring them to me. You're also welcome to review data. Thanks for the help, Rebecca. Moreover, Gnosis left room for improvement. By pushing the capabilities of its user to their limits, the supply of knowledge to D would steadily increase. After 500 years of research, our order has increased the effects of Gnosis and repeated the so-called ceremonies. At a speed that was unfathomable 5 centuries prior, the completion of Gnosis lay within reach, when we hit an unforeseen obstacle. Due to the skill of our experiments, we were detected by the authorities and the Bracer Guild. They led coordinated assaults on our lodges and ultimately our order. Foolish beyond mere words, indeed. After all, what are a few sacrifices at the cost of resurrecting a true god? In secrecy, I collected the data from the destroyed lodges and arrived in Crossbelt, the land of origin. As paloma grass, the foremost ingredient for Gnosis, grows in abundance in the southern wetlands of Crossbelt, there would never be a shortage of raw materials. In addition to the highly advanced facilities once installed by the alchemists from the Middle Ages in the depths of the Sun Fort, I was blessed with an environment to continue my research and finish the secret remedy. This data is a detailed record of Gnosis, the drug developed by the cult. Taking it enhances physical abilities and sensory receptivity and draws out latent power from the user, seeming capable of inducing that horrid demonization effect. How mysterious that one pill could do so much. Its main ingredient is paloma grass, which grows in abundance in Crossbelt southern wetlands. This would confirm where Joaquin had been getting such a large supply of materials to produce the drug. There was something else I found peculiar in this data, this passage on what purpose Gnosis serves. According to Joaquin, the drug is capable of resurrecting their so-called true god D. How could that be? It sounds too absurd to be true. The cult had also been conducting those repulsive ceremonies over the course of 500 years. I was fortunate enough to be saved by Guy and the others, but there were so many victims, far more than can be forgiven. Yeah, and he brushed it off with that whole what are a few sacrifices bit. He and the rest of those cult bastards keep on burning where they are. And now even Vald is a victim of Gnosis. Right. The cult may be gone, but the dangers they created continue to spread. We can't forget that. You're absolutely right. As police officers, we have a duty to ensure that Gnosis doesn't bring harm to Crossbelt, just as we would with any other drug. I couldn't agree more. For now, that covers all the information about Gnosis. We should consider using the remaining fragments to decrypt more data. So yeah, this part is going to be a pain to edit together. So I'm just going to look through to see how many blanks there are. Right there, we're missing page 3. I don't know if I missed a crystal or if maybe there's one left in the final dungeon. The Metropolitan Division has resumed patrolling the city. We're going to have to exercise caution. Any large-scale disturbances may run the risk of threatening public safety. Chief Yulich went to the police academy to help get things in order now that the defense force is pulled out of there. That leaves us with the job of guarding the station. Hey guys, listen to this. They said Inspector Donovan is going to be reinstated to the force soon. It's been so tough to fill his shoes with him in the hospital. Now I won't have to do as much work anymore. That's great, Raymond. Though I have to ponder what the inspector would say if he knew the reason behind your relief. Whoa, let's not say anything too crazy, okay, Dio? What the inspector doesn't know won't hurt him. I don't know. I mean, a grenade. You didn't see that coming, and... yeah. Spoke to him. After this, we'll go to Orcus. Now that martial law is no longer in effect, our staff is split up to confirm the safety of the citizens. About a dozen or so were discovered with minor injuries, but most people seem to be okay. Ambulance has already been arranged for those who require treatment, so we should be able to rest easy for now. We're currently planning where to stage our public address regarding the current crisis. Our citizens deserve an official statement on what all this could mean for Crossbell's future. Unrest is spreading as we speak, so time is of the essence. Door is locked. Can't get over there. Or over there. So that's it. The president's really been arrested. Makes you wonder what'll happen to Crossbell now. Still, what's done is done. We're just gonna have to take things as they come. News of Dieter's arrest has already begun to make its way out of our borders. We must be wary of how the two major powers react. How is the current situation throughout Crossbell, Deputy Commander? Understandably, the tree's appearance is causing panic and confusion across the state. Many citizens are also requesting transport to St. Ursula Hospital now that the barrier is down. I've instructed Second Lieutenant Morale to handle things on that end. Regarding transit to and from the cities, I've deployed squads on the highways as additional protection for traveling vehicles. As such, we are now able to escort far more people than we could under the President's restrictions. I see. Your timeliness is much appreciated. As for myself, I'll need to make a public appearance as Speaker of the Diet and explain the President's arrest. Preparations are currently underway at the Civic Center, correct? Yeah, we plan on wheeling out those monitor cars the President had during his big address. Our officers here in the city can't get them set up in a jiff Our officers here in the city can get them set up in a jiff if they divide the workload. Thank you, Chief Sergei. Remember, we mustn't let our guards down against the two major powers. I need each and every one of you to be careful as well. Sounds like Speaker McDowell and the others are busy putting out fires all over Crossbell. Let's trust my grandfather and them to handle matters on the ground for now. Hey team, something up? Nothing in particular, we just wanted to touch base on the situation here. Well, right now we're discussing our plan of attack regarding all the little problems throughout the state. I'm basically the CPD's liaison this go-around. I see. You certainly are the right man for the job, Chief. So no one's holding up the fort back at the Triple S building then, huh? Any new support requests come in? Yeah, tons of them. Had them forwarded to the guild. Don't sweat it, I know you guys have bigger fish to fry. You did that? At the start of the year, we'd never let ourselves lose a request to the guild, but I know things will be in good hands with them. Yeah, focus on doing your thing and settling this the way you think it needs to be done. Not just at the CPD Special Support Section, but as the people you've grown to become. We will. The news of Dieter's arrest will soon reach everyone, not just within our borders, but throughout the continent as well. Even if we manage to get the situation under control, there will undoubtedly be difficult times ahead for Crossbell. Perhaps the future of our state was too heavy a burden for Dieter to bear. It leads me to wonder if there was anything I could have done as his fellow statesman to prevent this. Never have I felt so powerless. Grandfather, please, don't put this on yourself. I think this is a burden all the people of Crossbell need to shoulder together. How we act next, though, that's going to be what defines us as a state. Yes, you are absolutely correct. For now, we must address the issues that lie before us, one by one. I know I've placed so much on your shoulders already, but I hope you'll continue to lend me your strength for a while longer. Hey, Duggo, how's it hanging? Well, look who it is. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? Commander Bales asked me to come here on behalf of the CDF. That would explain it. You know, I think this is the first time we've seen you in your Defense Force uniform. Something about them feels a tad more formal than our CGF attire. Still, the fact of the matter is that I'm going to be wearing it until the order has been restored to the state. Right, the situation is dire, and there are more important matters at hand right now. Precisely. Now that the barrier has been lifted and the ions are gone, we have to stay on guard against the major powers taking action. There aren't any signs of an imminent invasion, fortunately, so I think we can take care of things here on the ground. In the meantime, you should all go do what the Triple S does best. We will. Good luck on your end, Deputy Commander. Hello, everyone. Randy. Yo, Morale. Looks like you've been reinstated. Thankfully. The Commander was happy to have us back, even if we did disobey her orders. Fortunately, Commander Bales has always been the flexible type. She likely recognizes that she needs every outstanding officer she can get right now, and you are among the best of them. Not too sure how much of a difference I can make in particular, but still it's good to be back, and now that I am, I plan on giving this my all. Not as a member of the CGF or the Defense Force, but as someone who has a duty to protect Crossbell. Hell yeah, go get him, Morale. Just trying to get so fired up that you need me to bail you out again. Oh gotta shut up, Randy, I know what I'm doing. Check it out. Guess the car was moved here after the operation. It's gonna have to stay there for a while longer, as unfortunate as that is. Yeah, we're sort of tied up with the statewide crisis at the moment. We can take it in for proper repairs once everything is settled. Definitely. Let's get some duct tape and I'll be as good as new. President Qua is being detained on the 36th floor. It's an unsettling feeling having to put our own head of state under arrest. Just how do things come to this? The security division has finally been posted here again now that the defense force is withdrawn. But the city isn't out of the woods just yet. We're going to do everything we can to help. Warms my heart to see separated friends and families reunited again. We've all been through a terrible ordeal. Times like these are when we need our loved ones the most. Tio, you're heading off for that giant tree, aren't you? It just tears me up inside thinking of what could happen to you over there. It's alright, Chief Roberts. You have no need to. I know. What if I grabbed an orbital staff of my own and accompanied you? I've got just how it works, so I could even back you up in battle with support crafts. Wouldn't that be just perfect? It's decided. I'll go and get red. Pass. Some things never change. As I was about to say, you have no need to worry about me so much, Chief. Rest assured that I and the others will return in one piece with Kia in tow. And besides, your role is in the city right now. The people could use your help getting this chaos in order. Tio, you could be more right. I need to focus on the work I have in front of me. Just promise me you'll come home safe and sound. I won't accept even one scratch on you. Okay, let's get to work. The orbital network's not going to shook itself. Got harder to establish a connection while the blue mist monsters were outside, so there might have been some damage done to the system. Sounds good to me. First things first, we'll run some operational verification tests on the tower terminals. It's good to be working with you again, David. Alright, let's get to work. With Chief Roberts here, getting these network problems resolved shouldn't be any trouble at all. It's one less thing to worry about. The staff and security who were detained in the tower earlier have since been released. Most of them were in a hurry to get back to their positions, myself included. It only makes sense at times like this we have to come together to support the citizens. For the time being, the management of Orcus Tower and its staff is being left in the hands of Speaker McDowell. We're still in a state of confusion, but the fact that this building exists to serve the people hasn't changed. Take care, Triple S. I look forward to working with all of you again in the future. The IBC has suspended full-time operations till further notice, and half of the staff have been sent home and told to remain on standby. After all these years of working for Mr. Claw, his arrest couldn't have been more shocking to me. It's difficult to accept. We must find a way to get through this for the better. Huh. Oh, I remember Kagemaru now. So look at the name, I was thinking, like, what is that? I remember now. And I will exchange that one for sure. Now what I'm curious about is how close to 1 million am I? Pretty close. So I'm not going to do that yet because we don't know what we need yet. Seems all those monsters that were in the city have finally disappeared. I was so terrified of them when the tower was on lockdown. Thankfully the damage in the city isn't too great, but I never want to have to go through that ever again. I hear the IBC has lost both its president, Dieter Qua, and his daughter who was acting CEO. This is undoubtedly going to affect stock prices, but I still think the IBC will remain the largest asset holder on the continent. I'm gonna wait and watch how things go. I at least want to see who they end up bringing on to fill the empty role. Good goddess, I can't take my eyes off you for a second, can I? But Margaret, as a Vice Commissioner of the Police, there are times when I have to rise to the occasion. Isn't that something you should always be doing, Pierre? If you made a habit of performing your job properly, you wouldn't get wrapped up in messes like these. I'm sorry. Just got him on a 1-hour leash. You, get out of here. Can't you see I'm busy? No, it's punishment for worrying me, so I'm cutting your next month's allowance by half. Please, anything but that? I saw a little girl take the elevator to the roof a little while ago. I think it might have been the Secretary of Defense's daughter. Maybe she wanted to get a good look at the tree that sprang up in the wetlands. So are the Archaisms still here? Yes. That is so messed up, man. So they left all of that intact? Have I even been to this part of the geofront? Apparently I have. Okay, just finished off my water bottle. Authorized personnel only. Nothing unusual to report here. We'll be continuing our patrols in the meantime. Good to see you, Special Support Section. Likewise. Is this room... I think it's supposed to be, is this the room you're keeping him in? Yes, this is where where Dieter Qua is being detained. Do you mind if I ask how he is? He seemed bewildered when he was taken into custody, but he's since calmed down. He hasn't put up any resistance at least, so we haven't had any additional security. You're allowed to see him if you like. Chief Sergei's orders. Gotcha. What should we do, Lloyd? Yeah, let's do it. I've been curious about what's on his mind. I'd like to hear it from the man himself. Very well, go on in. So, you've come to see me. What in heaven's for? I'm an international criminal. Hello, Dieter. Uncle? You know, I've come to realize something being isolated like this. Belle was absolutely right. I was never more than a conduit for Ian's ambitions. From my soapbox, I constantly preached that justice was an ideal worth pursuing, regardless of the sacrifices. In the end, what did it get me? I've fallen from grace, ejected from my presidential post, and discarded by my only daughter. That green-haired boy from the society pales in comparison to me. I'm the real fool around here. Even so, we can't completely condemn you. It's only natural for someone to stick to their beliefs when their personal justice is on the line. What you've done is inexcusable, but no one can ever claim you weren't genuinely trying to protect Crossbell. True enough? I don't think that speech you gave us about justice back at the IBC was something you just pulled out of your ass. In your words, humankind are creatures that will, to our dying breath, chase after the ideal of justice. I believe the citizens of Crossbell approved of your Declaration of Independence because of your sense of justice resonated with them. But public opinion aside, the methods you employed were anything but just. Even if Crossbell retains its independence, even if your justice is upheld and peace is achieved, that alone won't heal the wounds of those who were harmed in the process. You tried to bring peace to Crossbell by sacrificing the innocent. As far as I'm concerned, that makes every word of your inauguration speech hollow. That's exactly right, Ellie. You speak nothing but the truth. Perhaps I was blinded by my own idealistic dreams once Kia's power stood within my grasp. Ian saw through my self-deception before I ever could, and so I became a puppet on a string for him to manipulate. But at the end of the day, justice is something carried out by one's power and will. That fact remains as true as the first time I said it. I expect you all to stay faithful to your humanity, to continue your pursuit of the justice you most believe in. To come out of all this, you will need to demonstrate to Ian and the others your own power, your own will. Easier said than done, but that's no reason to back down. We're ready to do whatever it takes. It's the only way we're going to get Kia back. That's right. In that case, I won't say anything more. Ian is one matter, but as far as Belle goes, while she may be my daughter, even I have no idea how far she's willing to go for this. With all that in mind, will you be able to take the next step forward and rescue Kia? I suppose we shall see soon enough. Hey, Mademoiselle? Are you alright? Don't worry, I'm fine. Part of me was worried for Uncle Dieter after the way Belle completely abandoned him. Yet he seemed surprisingly composed. I was thinking the same. Guess that makes one less worry in our minds. He was right about one thing, though. It's time for us to take the next step forward. We'll be holding President Qua in custody until the situation around the state is under control. He'll be facing more than a few charges, but there's a part of me that doesn't want to see him punished too harshly. I can't approve of his methods, but in the end, he was still only trying to protect Crossbell. You can get to the mechanical levels from the 30th floor downward via the emergency stairs, but they've still yet to be secured. Be careful if you plan to go in there. Jeez. Okay, we can now go up through there. number 4. Kia, Father? What are you doing up here, Shizuku? Hello, everyone. I came to look at the giant tree. Are my father and Kia really in there? They are. That much is for certain. Yes, we don't know their exact location just yet. I see. Don't worry, Shizuku. You won't have to wait much longer. We're going to bring your father and Kia back, we promise. What he said. Sit tight, kiddo. I'll try. Please, everyone, make sure my father comes home, and Kia too. And with this, we're done with Orcus Tower, until we need to come back for more money or something. This way. I'm trying to remember where we find the final fragment of the Zemurian ore. Turns out Ryan's managed to keep himself safe by slipping into the geofront. Thank goodness he's alright. Got your camera ready, Rhines? Yep, it's good to go. Alright, off to Orcus Tower then. We're not just gonna bum around like Grace leaves in the dust. Yeah. Looks like Rhines is back on the reporting beat. For him, it must be like killing two birds with one stone. Not that it'd be easy to do both of his jobs at once. We'll let Grace report on that gigantic tree. The rest of us are gonna follow the government's next moves. We need to keep a close eye on how they're planning to clean things up before Erebony and Calvert can respond. We've got to get out there and gather as much info as we can. There's always another scoop to cover. You finish one big story and bam, it's on to the next. They actually let us upstairs. McKenna and I rushed out the article on the President's arrest the second the ink was dry. Lucky for us, our full staff is back to work as well. Now that we're in touch with Grace again, it's up to us to keep the new information flowing in. Restricted area, can't enter. Thought I'd finally be able to look up and see a sunny sky again, but instead we get a huge tree. What in the world is it even? Don't think the President's responsible for that too. Doesn't seem dangerous, at least. Okay, life's full of mountains, but let me tell you, there's not a one of them that can't be surmounted. That's I was misreading that. Calvert and Erebony can stuff it. Same goes for that spooky overgrown shrub. Blue tree, red tree, green tree, I don't give a hoot. Nothing's gonna stop me from making my noodles. Okay, I remember where it is now. Between martial law and the President getting arrested, and that there tree springing up, I just can't keep track of it all. No matter what happens next, won't let anyone harm Amisa. Not over my dead body. My grandpa says it's too soon to start feeling safe. I'm scared we might get attacked again. But everything will be okay as long as I have Grandpa with me. I love him so much. Thought I'd finally be able to look up and see a sunny sky again, but instead we get a huge tree. What in the world is it even? Don't tell me the person responsible for that too. It doesn't seem dangerous. Yeah, we spoke to her. What? There's just one walker, that's what I was trying to say. So, that colossal tree that materializes emanating some sort of azure light, is it? How eerily reminiscent of the Liber arc that appeared above Ouroboros. They say it turned out to be an ancient floating city. What then is the true nature of this tree? Azel went back downtown to the downtown district a little while ago. Old me would have been upset at him for leaving us again so soon, but I knew he just wants to look out for his friends and everyone else in the neighborhood. I got really scared when I saw that big tree outside, but as he said he'd do something about it, and that made me feel better. He may be my brother, but I don't think he can even he can make that tree go away. Still, I'm glad he wanted to cheer me up. If only my husband were still with us. My husband would have chosen to fight for what was right until the very end. That was his pride as a guardsman. Please, Special Support Section, keep watching after Noelle and Fran. My daughters are in your care. You can work them as hard as you like until you resolve this crisis. Door is locked, the tent is vacated. It's a relief to know Cindy and Sophia's families are safe. That isn't the end of things, though. How I wish life would go back to normal soon. The The company I worked for closed after the IBC building went down, but we recently rented a small office space and opened up again. It's been a while, though, so I need to shake off the rust. Still, I'm eager to get back to providing for our family, Marie included, of course. Marie seems enthusiastic. Father seems excited to be going back to work. I'm happy for him. What about you, Marie? Roy looks really sad. He should stop being such a worry-warden. Play with me instead. Even if President Qua is out of the picture, we still have Speaker McDowell. Can't think of any man more capable of restoring peace to Crossbell. The President gets apprehended, and an ominous blue tree pops up out of nowhere. When are we ever going to catch a break? All I want is for things to go back to the way they were. What's wrong, Roy? Nothing, don't worry about it. President Qua has been apprehended. A head of state being arrested like this is practically unheard of. What's going to happen to Crossbell now? Hey there, kiddos. Congrats on cuffing the president. Talk about a big catch, huh? Thanks, Michelle. We wouldn't have been able to make it inside in the first place without the guild's help. It was our teamwork that paved the way for the mission's success. Please, it was nothing. We've been wanting to do something about the situation for a while. You showing up was just the windfall we needed. Because of you, the guild is finally able to get back to business as usual. That would explain why you're the only one downstairs. Yep, with the barrier down, the city clear, most everyone's gone off to check on other parts of the state. We were locked inside for so long that we're practically drowning in requests. My boys and girls are going to be busy. Our sincerest condolences. Yeah, we like to hand a hand, but, you know, don't worry about it. We'll hold down the fort around here. In exchange, you go handle that tree that's spread out of the wetlands for us. I know it's personal. The way I see it, that divides the work up perfectly. I guess you're right. Kia and Arios are over there, and we're going to do everything in our power to bring them back. And there's that triple S can-do attitude. Shouldn't have to tell you not to underestimate Arios, though. He's a tough cookie. After competing with him for almost a year, you should know that better than anyone. Now go smack some sense into them and give him an extra one from me. Glad to. So we found Scott, we found Wenzel, Lynn's upstairs, Aeolia is accounted for. You were amazing earlier, Kilika. Seeing the Taito School's flying swallow with my own two eyes was nothing short of enlightening. It's not often I get to brandish my chakrams, but it went better than I'd anticipated. I can tell you've been training hard yourself, Lynn. Compared to our spar 8 years ago, you're a brand new martial artist, a much more capable one at that. Hardly, my technique has a ways to go. I'm nowhere near the level of mastery you and Zin have achieved as much as I'd like to be. Being a dedicated pupil is a good start, though. At the rate you're growing, you may be able to move the immovable in another year or so. He has yet to overcome his weakness for fair and tender maidens. Your sharp tongue can make even an A-rank bracer like him look bad, Kilika. It's no better experience than fighting back-to-back with my idol, Kilika. I'll need to refine my Taito prowess even more to keep Crossbell safe. Excellent job earlier, everyone. Likewise, Kilika, thanks for offering to lend a hand. Yeah, you and Lecter kicked some serious ass back there. Please, it was nothing at all. Putting that aside, I scarcely expected any of this Azure tree business. How has Calvert responded to the situation? The Republican government is in shock. It's visible from Altair as well, as you see. But without any knowledge of what threat it may pose, they've decided to sit back and observe. I can't divulge any more beyond that. I suppose that's fair? I plan to remain here until I have a full assessment of what's going on. What path Crossbell takes from today on remains to be seen. No doubt it will largely depend on your actions. Spare yourself the regret and do whatever it is you believe to be right. That was our intention from the start. Thank you again, Kilika. No one else is up here. I was finally able to get in touch with my friend's family in Armorica village. Still plenty to be worried about, but hearing from them was a huge relief. Yeah, I keep remembering she was the one who was hesitant to join, and now she's their, secretary or something? I don't know what exactly you call the one who works the counter. The president has been arrested, but where do we go from here? There's still so much left for the people of Crossbell to overcome. All of us who call this place home need to come together and show unity. Then we can take a step in the right direction. Our lives may be back to normal, but Crossbell still has a slew of other problems to deal with. With our diplomatic relations severed, merchants across the state will begin to run out of stock. I'll need to reach out to Speaker McDowell so the two of us can work out some solutions. Mart must have nerves of steel. Anyone else would be closing up shop at a time like this. Then again, that tenacity is one of the reasons I fell in love with her. I understand why my husband was worried after all that's happened, but to think he'd come help me at my stall. Guess I do feel a bit safer, though. Might as well put him to work and get some sales out of it. Me, my dad, and my brothers are all worried about Mom going out alone, so we're taking turns shopping with her. It's a little inconvenient, but if something happened to Mom, we'd all go down with the ship. I feel like I'm finally starting to realize how much I appreciate her. The men of the house have begun treating me with more respect lately. How many years has it been since I last went shopping with Gillette? Gillet? I don't know how his name is supposed to be pronounced. Gillet? I know things are tense right now, but little moments like these are still worth enjoying. Welcome, one and all. Din's Fresh is open for business today. Fresh veggies will help us overcome this crisis in better health than ever before. So, what am I... Jeez, I used up almost all the milk. Seven-colored beans, so I used all of... And the carrot. Din's plan to overcome this is to eat more vegetables. I'd like to know where he gets his optimism. Still, I guess that's part of it that brightens up every day. Maybe that's what being a street vendor is really about in the end. It feels like the city's returned to its usual hustle and bustle again. I have to do my part and kickstart the economy buying as much as I can. Okay, time to plan out another new shopping route and maximize those savings. Well, I'm glad everything crosses back to normal, mostly anyway. Still got that mysterious tree looming in the distance, but I'm sure we'll find a way to manage. Maybe we'll have some new handicrafts to relax. Nothing new here. What about the old recipe book?
Yosh, yaruka. Nanda kore? Umaku iku kana? Ii kanji ka. Umaku iku kana? Gomen, minna. Umaku iku kana?
So if you're wondering how you get cat food, there you go.
Yosh, yaruka. Nanda kore?
So we need to swap this out for effort now. I'm just gonna try one here. Yeah, we'll try it with one of the girls. There we go. Oh, we got the 3-day stew itself. So, Emerald Gem for Lloyd. I have to buy more carrots. And there we go. Anything that I have a low number of, I'm just going to buy a few extras, because there's a total of 4 dishes we have to make. No. We've started up our shipping business again. Up until now, our routes have typically been to and from Calvert. We'll have to make do delivering within state lines for a while. But it's all the same job in the end. As long as we work hard as we ever have, things will sort themselves out. Okay, the capture card crashed while I was talking to Shan-chan. Her first line was, "You look like you're going somewhere dangerous. I wish you wouldn't, but I know I can't stop you, Risha. I'll be right here waiting for you, so you better come back safely." "I will, I promise." "Well, if it isn't Detective Benny's and his colleagues, how are you?" "Cow, what are you doing here?" "Is there something strange about us coming along now for a bite to eat? With the city calming down, what better time for a relaxing meal?" "Still kind of ballsy, don't you think? You even took the middle table for anyone who walks in to see." "I was not comfortable with it myself. However, it was the waitress who seated us here, and Master Cow did not refuse." Don't think me some brazen malcontent trying to flaunt his newfound freedom. All we want is to eat our meals in peace. I feel we've earned it. The Liberation Mission was the first time in a while that we fought the Red Constellation with such gusto. Well, as far as that goes, you do have our thanks for helping. So what do you all plan to do now? We intend to observe what happens next until things return to normal. Once we have a handle on what Crossbell's immediate future will look like, we'll find a new headquarters and resume our business. I was afraid of that. It's only natural. Rivage is gone, and soon the Red Constellation will be out the door as well. There's never been a better time for Hayway. This has been long overdue, but after much toing and froing, I think that's what that's supposed to be. We're finally nearing our goal of having full control over Crossbell's underworld. It would not have been possible without the tireless work of your collaborator, Master Yin. Then it's only a matter of time before Hayway and the Triple S clash again, isn't it? Perhaps so, but I'm looking forward to it all the same. Just know that if you intend to be the next barrier in our way, Cal, don't count on being the first one to stop us. I had a feeling you would say something to that effect, but I would hardly call me and my men a barrier in the sense that you know it. Not compared to the chaos in Zemuria, nor the noose to the west that will soon be tightening around Crossbell's neck. A little dramatic, don't you think? Not at all. In the meantime, I wish your team luck in tackling this Azure tree business, Detective Bannings. Me of Hayway will be in your corner, over in the shadows, of course. On behalf of Hayway, thank you for all you've done thus far. Our men have already vacated the Sun Fort, in case you were curious. We've done all we can to assist you. Best of luck and do be careful. This reminds me, I've been considering making you another contract offer once this matter is settled. That is, if your availability is open, Miss Mao. It's true that I owe you a great deal, and I do intend to repay you, but even so I cannot commit to such an arrangement at this time. You tell him, Risha. I see. Well, we won't coerce you into it. As far as recent events are concerned, I consider them a collaborative effort, so you don't need to feel indebted to us. Nevertheless, if you insist on making recompenses, I wouldn't turn down S-section seats to an Arc-en-Ciel performance. A joke, I assure you. As I mentioned, Hayway requires your strength to fulfill our lofty ambitions. So if purchasing a ticket out of pocket is what it takes for us to be on good terms, then so be it. Master's motto is that everyone is happier on a full stomach. When Roos and me eventually start our business, everything he's taught us is going to carry over, I just know it. If you know all the headwinds they run into, they need a lot more help than just that. I'm sure working our hardest through this crisis will be a useful experience for the future. Me and Puck plan on opening up a big successful shop someday, but for now we gotta focus on what's in front of us. Alright, time to clean this place until it looks brand spanking new. Should have known Master would insist on opening back up today, even with that freaky tree over in the distance. I've been worried about my mom over in Calvert, but honestly, Erebonia probably has it worse with the Civil War. I shouldn't be letting my thoughts wander, though. More business hours means more time to learn everything Master has to teach. I've had enough of this recent chain of events in Crossbell. No good will come from panicking, though. As such, we will remain open. Someone needs to chop that blue tree down so I can go back to running Long Lao in peace. I keep thinking you can squeeze by there, but you can't. Really annoys me. And we'll talk to them on the way out. I like all the old ladies sitting on the middle part of the busted bench. The Bracer Guild has allowed me the use of their international phone line so I can talk with Armand and Ellie in Ouroboros. Sounds like there's some trouble there too, but nothing compared to what's happening in Erebonia and Calvert. Things are going to be chaotic in Crossbell for a while, but I'm grateful to hear they're alright. It would be kind of weird if we were allowed to go back to Ouroboros sometime soon. All the toughs from the local gangs have banded together to protect the downtown district. We used to have to keep our distance from their little altercations on the square, but it turns out these kids are actually pretty reliable. For the first time ever, we're really coming together as a community. Daddy, are you leaving for work again? Sure am. Construction site just reopened. I know you must be worried, Lima, but I need you to watch the house with Mommy, okay? Okie dokie. Have a good day, Daddy. Off I go then. It's a little embarrassing when she does that, but heck, if it doesn't keep me motivated. Alright, there's no time to worry about the what-ifs and maybes. I gotta get back out there and continue supporting my family. Even when everything's all crazy, Daddy still works as hard as he can for us, so I'm gonna do my best to look after the house while he's gone too. Something about that giant blue tree rubs me the wrong way. My husband works outdoors, I'm sure he feels just the same. Wish there was someone I could be there for him. And let's peek in on Bacchus. who is not here. Mailman gets all weird when he's not drunk, so I went and bought him some booze. Come back to drinking your whole life away, you worthless little bastard. Van got his dad drunk on purpose. It's kind of funny, though, huh? Still, I'm gonna miss seeing sober Uncle Bacchus. Oh well. Now, just where did that giant tree spring up from? That blue glow is so ethereal, I can only assume it's not of our world. It almost makes me feel like it almost feels like a gateway to Adios' eternal kingdom. Well, if you go there, it just might be. Jed and the others are finally pitching in again. Even if you kind of messed everything up, Vald's still our guy. He's the boss, and that means something to us. So make sure you bring him back, okay? We're counting on you. Jed and Luganov are in charge of the gang until Vald gets back. We all gotta stick together if we're gonna keep the Saber Vipers alive. Yeah. Turn my back on all the bullshit out there, no clue what's going on, but I ain't got time to care. Sing all those troubles away. Still haven't forgiven Vald, not for a second. But even then, I gotta admit, the Saber Vipers are some of the best fun I ever had. These guys look up to me as one of their leaders. That's reason enough to keep this place standing. It's like the whole world's ending. But you know what? Seeing that big blue tree makes me want to do my part to help too. Everyone will have a little less to worry about the city's cleaner. Man, I cannot believe what's going on out there. It makes me wish there was more I could do to give you kids a hand. If only I had some of the good stuff. The good stuff? Talking about Zemurian Ore, my boy. It's a metal that's sometimes found in ruins from ancient civilizations. Over a year ago, some famous professor perfected a process for refining the stuff and made some primo gear out of it. If I could get my hands on some, I'd be able to make some of these top-of-the-line weapons I've been drafting up. That could be better than anything I ever built before, hands down. You mean they'd be even stronger? Damn, top of the line is right. We do have a dire need for greater firepower given the circumstances. Well, I could crank them out in the wink of an eye if I just had the materials. I think 5 small shards of this stuff would be enough for one. Zemurian ore, huh? I think I actually have some shards that I found earlier. What's that look for? You figure out a lead on where to get a hold of some? In that case, I'll start prepping to have those weapons made. Talk to me again once you got a Zemurian ore. 5 shards will work just fine too. I'll get to forging the second you do. Got it. Thanks, Mr. Gilliam. So we do have the Devil Smasher and the Ore Grip. These ones I think I chose to pass on. I have to see what Tio's wearing for boots. So that's 5 speed, 4 movement, 10 evasion. Yeah, it's worth it, I'd say. That's actually the boot that I was thinking of. So yeah, that puts her at 103, tied with Lloyd for fastest. Kidding me with this tree? It's just been one thing after another. You folks make sure you're ready if you plan on heading into that thing. I was waiting for you over there, but forget if your weapons worked out good and right beforehand. We will, thanks, Gilliam. So I was kind of hoping we could actually see what all it entails here, but... Let's see if Bacchus is down here. Ah. A lot of people were sent to the hospital after the mist lit up. Tried calling my dad to check in on him, but he actually found time between his busy rounds to pick up. Could do what I can to show him that he's not the only one working hard. Never would have guessed that Wazy and Abbas belong to the church. Kinda feels like I don't even know you anymore. Don't be like that. I'm the same person I've ever been. No need to act otherwise. In fact, you could say that the real Wazy Hemisphere is leading the Testaments all along. Really? It makes me feel a little better then. Trinity is finally open for business again. The fact that everything's so messed up is exactly why it's important to keep our daily lives going. Plenty of people will be looking to wash away their worries, I'm sure. Give it your best, alright? Thanks, Wazy. You do the same. And here's the moment everyone's been waiting for. 9 volley. Just as the president's arrested, that giant eyesore of a tree pops up. Timing's a little too good by my count. And with that barrier down, we're now wide open for the two major powers. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Things are getting interesting around here. It's a good day to be an arms dealer. Figures you'd be thinking about the bottom line over anything else. Maybe we'll make a few exchanges ourselves. Let's do that, Randy. Hey, you guys know that Black Cat character? Black Cat character? You must be referring to Kagemaru. Yeah, that's the one. I'm looking for merch of his. If you find any, bring it to me, got it? Well, I'll think about it. So if you want any other accessories, this is your chance. I've pretty much burned up most of this stuff, though. I used up the emerald already. I refuse to get the ochre, so yeah. Now this is the other thing where we have to look for the zeros. And we actually have everything she has. Sweet. And here's the real moment we've been waiting for. So we need another Kagemaru Howari. Sadly, that thing costs 5,000. So you know what, we'll talk to these guys first. Where the shit did that tree come from? Hell, if I know what's going on anymore. We're working with the Testaments to patrol the area. If anyone's loitering and getting up to no good, we'll knock them to next week. We can rest easy so long as both of our gangs keep an eye on things downtown. Speaking of which, it's time for us to make another lap around the block. But yeah, I don't think we saw Bacchus anywhere. But yeah, we'll have an opportunity to do some rebalancing on Lloyd. Let's go Station Street real quick since we're here. It wasn't too long after we declared our independence that the Transcontinental Railroad suspended operations. What's more, civil wars broken out in the Empire, and of course the Republic has its own share of problems. Guess my peaceful days of railway gazing are over. This is a good contender for the saddest moment of my life. Decided to go and deliver any surplus goods here in Crossbell City to the rest of the state. That said, there's a limit to how much people can spare now that imports have been restricted. But still, while I may be a simple delivery man, I'll do what I can to aid the cause. You're the Triple S, aren't you? Thanks for doing what you do. You're authorized to pass, so go right on ahead. Why? Currently, you have the officers conducting an investigation of the airport's landing field. We're going to have to insist that you refrain from entering the search zone. This is my first time coming back to work since the Jaegers and monsters attacked the city. Now inbound airmail is suspended, so that's one less service. Wonder how we're going to get by. Pardon me, questions if our lives will ever return to normalcy. After our independence was declared, the airport became a base to prevent potential invasions from the two major powers. But apparently those Jaegers that raided the city were working directly for President Qua himself. I just don't know what to say. Did our faith in the President's words and dreams of independence mean nothing? The police got here a while ago. They're out searching the landing strip for any traces of the Jaegers. Sorry, but we're gonna need you to stay away from there for now. No one up here. Downtown was actually right there. Walking on Sunshine unlocked. You head down to the storeroom? Alright, you guys are regulars, so I guess it's fine. Just don't touch anything. It's not my fault you have to come back up in a body bag. Thanks for the heads up. And there it is, boys. Lovely family lunches is housed here on the shelf. Picnic lunchbox. There it is.
よし
ちょっと
So let's put Prankster on Ellie.
ちょっと自信ないけど何かし
Got
ら
it.
これ
Looks to me like you were all headed somewhere together. Safe travels on, officers. Hope we can do something about this mess. Something wrong, sir? I can tell you've been honing your skills as a chef boy the way I told you to. Very well, today I shall share with you our golden goose, a recipe handed down my family for generations. Snatch the recipe notebook away, open it up and begin writing. Medicinal Mapo Tofu. There, accept it. And there you go, Zhangwei would be proud. And he is. Wow, what a way to fill out the last page of my recipe book. Wait, are you sure it's alright for me to have your secret recipe, Zhangwei? Yes, and spare me your gratitude. The decision was mine, and in my kitchen my word is the law. Focus yourself not on humility, but on your abilities. The path every chef must walk is the arduous one. Your best cooking lies ahead. Dedicate yourself to your training as you have been, lest you falter. Right, I will. Good, visit me again when you get the opportunity, and I will instruct you properly in the culinary arts. You know, I've been wondering about this for a while now. But you do remember that we never came here to train under you, right? You referred to our misunderstanding months ago, I haven't forgotten. Your path as a chef is a different matter, however. Take a closer look at your recipe book. Right here it says, name Lloyd Bannings, affiliation, Crossbill Culinary Federation. As a member of the Federation, Longlau has a sworn duty to teach any who come through our doors with this in tow. Plain and simple. This is what you get for not reading the fine print. Never realized we were agreeing to join a union when he gave it to us. I wasn't even here, but hey, this ain't gonna stop me from obtaining my resume with pro chef when this is all over, though. Might even quit the police and open my own 5-star restaurant. Maybe you should try getting your own notebook first, Randy. Anyway, thanks for all you've done for us, Zhangwei. Though I still think you went above and beyond what was required. How many times must I refuse your thanks? Imparting my wisdom on bright young men and women is only the right thing to do. Now, as far as your police duties go, my cooking will always be here to energize you. So, I would very much like it if you ate it up so you could get to restoring peace in Crossbell. Don't make me say this Don't make me say this more than once, but I also believe in you, children. Son of a... Gehenna's Kitchen unlocked. So this goes back to heal. This goes to effort.
Yosh, yaruka. Nanda kore?
You had one job, Lloyd.
Yaruka. Ii kanji kana?
Lloyd, I need you to put some effort into this.
Ii kanji.
This is getting awkward. Seriously, man. Well, my last one before I have to go buy some fish and carrots. You have one shot. Serve and perfect. There we are. Let's try coming back with another offering sometime. No repeat dishes, though. Ah, crud. I think we get a note after this one. Crap. Trying to do this on high speed may be slowing me down. Okay, my guess is after 6, maybe? Maybe there aren't any notes this time. To you faithfully offer your dishes, I give thanks, and it is a great comfort to know that someone other than myself visits the great Jesus so frequently, with delicious offerings no less. Though I know not who you are, allow me to leave you a small token of gratitude. Please consider it a gift for your continued devotion. Tirabalm. I think that was the 12th one. This season continues to be a drizzly one. How have you been spending your days, I wonder? In hoping that you return to offer your dishes once more, I have taken the liberty of writing you another letter. While gazing out upon the bustling street the other day, I spotted several children running about with great joy and vigor. I saw them in the area quite often, but even still it pleased me to know that they got along so well. All eyes are on Crossbill, but what better treasure does the city have than the steady growth of our youth? I ponder this and a great deal of other matters over and over. Oh, how I'd love for these peaceful times to continue forever. This is all I can write for today, but first I prepared you another small token of gratitude. I'd be simply delighted if it were to prove useful to you. So I wonder if you saw the Junior Triple S. To you who faithfully offer dishes, how do you fare today? I am deeply grateful for your many visits to the gracious Jizo. The other day I was staying in my kitchen thinking about the delicious dishes you had offered when suddenly I decided to try and make one myself. My mother had hammered her culinary teachings into me during my youth, but despite my zeal and confidence faded other plans. The cream stew I had slaved over was not quite according to recipe. My family, however, spared me and complimented the taste. Although these are trying times, I am grateful that we are able to continue living our daily lives. May your days be as peaceful as I found mine to be. Tirabalm. As the grass grows and the sun shines, I can sense the turning of the seasons. To you who offer dishes, I pray for your health in the days to come. As for myself, I went to City Hall the other day and came across an old acquaintance from my school years. She'd been away from Crossbill for a long while, but returned when her son's family moved into town. Imagine our surprise bumping into one another. Neither so changed from our younger days. It had been some time before we last were in contact, and so we reminisced about past trends throughout the years, as well as our difficulties during the war. Perhaps that fateful encounter was arranged by none other than the great Jizo. But I digress. I will continue praying for your health. Goodbye, and may you be well. Tirabalm. And there you go. All the dishes have been offered. Small package and a letter lay on the shrine. To you who faithfully offer dishes, thank you kindly for your bountiful offerings to the great Jizo. I moved to this area with my father when I was a child. Every day since, I have prayed to the Jizo, growing attached to it over time. Very few people visit the shrine anymore, but the fact that there are still kind souls like yourselves, who do brings me much relief. It's reassuring to know that others share my sentiments. I apologize for the long letter, but please accept this small token of my gratitude. It's a pity we have yet to meet in person, but so long as I'm in good health, I will continue to visit the great Jizo each and every day. Perhaps it is only a matter of time before our paths cross. Signed, an anonymous neighbor. 2 Tirabalms were inside the package. Tirabalm 2. We've offered a lot of dishes to this Jizo. They weren't meant to be formal prayers or anything, but it wouldn't hurt to try. Guys, since we're already here, why don't we offer a prayer to the Jizo before we head out, you know, for luck? I don't see any reason not to. The sentiments behind the gesture are well worth the few minutes it will take to make them. A bit of meditation would probably do our morale some good too. So come on, let's get to praying. In Eastern tradition, I believe you join your hands like so. Is this right? I'm pretty sure you're also supposed to drop your shoulders and put your hands at a 45-degree angle. There are a lot of customs associated with prayer. I think it'll be fine if you pray as you would in a church. Sure, I think we can manage that. Everyone put their hands together, closed their eyes, and offered a prayer to the Jizo. Surprised that wasn't blasphemy to Wazy, you know? Oh dear, my apologies. My hearing is what it used to be these days. Could it be? Pardon? I may be wrong, but are you the ones responsible for leaving so many dishes for the Grey Jizo? Grey Jizo? Wait a minute. You must be the anonymous neighbor. Why yes, so it is you. To think those offerings came from you adorable little youngsters. I thought for sure it was someone closer to my age. Well, to be fair, we were mostly doing it as motivation to improve our cooking. Man, though, talk about a shocker. You're the lady we see in the downtown district every now and then, yeah? Given the level of literary sophistication in those letters, though, I suspected the author was an older adult. I do apologize for taking up so much of your valuable time with my scrawlings, but I think I was writing to you all along. My, but this world is always filled with so many lovely surprises. Old Lady Paola faced the Jizo and silently joined her hands. This Jizo has witnessed many trying times throughout Crossbell's history. Once it was even demolished. However, time and again, people of this neighborhood were repaired with great care. People seldom visit it these days, but I'm glad it still holds significance for some. That reminds me, I have something here that might interest you. Admittedly, it's merely a gift I'm hoping to re-give, but perhaps all of you could appreciate it better. You really don't have to do that. No need to be so modest. Consider it a small token of my gratitude. Kusanagi. An old friend gave this to me, but I have no use for such things. That Imelda, she's always had trouble when it comes to giving gifts. Farewell then, I would be delighted if you could continue visiting the Great Jizo when you have the time. I don't get what her deal is, but that was one classy old lady. I often see her basking in the sun in front of my apartment building. She lives in the downtown district now, but I believe she used to reside elsewhere. I've always thought her quite beautiful, though. This is a master quartz, and did you say she got it from Imelda? She was as kind as she was mysterious. I do recall grandfather mentioning a woman one generation his senior who was once regarded as the belle of Crossbell in high society. But surely he didn't mean her, right? There's no harm coming back to pay a little respect to the Jizo every now and then. ADO certainly won't mind. Anyway, shouldn't we be heading out, O leader of ours? Yeah, we should. I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for just about anything now. Let's go, everybody. So, I imagine people want to see Kusanagi. Recover HP through attacks and crafts. You can see 1/5 of the damage comes back. And then you can recover EP through offensive arts. Activates when using magic attacks. 1% of the damage is EP. That's not really all that great. Like, it's kind of up to you. If you were to use this on Lloyd, you'd heal after every counterattack, or you can just use shield and you get an additional master art and just, like, hopefully you never actually have to use the defense and art defense, but if you did, it's there. And then if you're wondering who Paola is, it's her. So yeah, I think that's everyone here in Crossbell. But that's only 1/2 of the mission, of course. The Defense Force finally handed jurisdiction over the prison back to us. It's certainly for the best. Their security enforcement was far too strict. I agree, I know they were dealing with a potential invasion by the two major powers, but they still took it too far. They may have tightened security so much because I was in custody. Dieter seemed especially wary of the possibility of the Triple S reuniting. For good reason. You can say he was 100% justified. We came here with Chief Yulich after the CDF withdrew. They left the place pretty understaffed too. Just leave the academy to us. We'll keep the place secure. Status report. No abnormal activity spotted in the vicinity of the academy. We'll continue to remain on guard. And let's go talk to Yuna. Triple S. Heard you guys were the ones who managed to liberate the city. And now you're out to finally put an end to all the turmoil here in Crossbell. Which means you're headed to that giant tree to rescue Kia, aren't you? Yeah, we are. Guessing Morale or Sonia caught you up on all that. Even then, you seem to be quite familiar with Kia's circumstances. Yeah, we had a lot of time to bond wherever I go pick up Ken and Nana from Sunday school. Can't believe what they put her through, propping her up as some divine child or whatever after we became independent. It's not like I fully get everything that's going on or why, but I know she's waiting on you to come rescue her. So do us all a favor and bring her home. And give her an extra hug from me, too. Yet another life that Kia and the Triple S have touched. Thank you, Yuna. I think we needed to hear that. We plan to fulfill our duties to the best of our ability. You make sure to do the same, okay? Right, just leave it to me. I'll help out on the ground however I can. Okay, so the cat came over to me during that, and I have to leave her alone now to actually move. You may hear her displeasure in the background. It's quite a bit of unrest among the cadets, Chief. We also have civilians who were originally here for traffic school. They all want to return to the city now that the barrier is gone. That's understandable. Best we have taken care of that right away. Well, the ladies and I will handle getting them where they need to go. I want the rest of you to keep up your patrols in the area. Yes, sir. Now she's getting up in the microphone as revenge. Well, if it isn't Sergei's kids. If you haven't heard, I've been placed in charge of security around the academy to make up for the lack of manpower. It's been a long time since I was last an on-site commander, but I'll try to make it work for the sake of the cadets. Ladies and I will get the cadets and civvies where they need to go. I want the rest of you to keep up your patrols in the area. And he just repeats that, basically. Is that you, Special Support Section? Thank you, Adios, you're all safe. Same to you, Juan. It's a relief to see you're holding up alright. Part of the Metropolitan Division has taken post here from the look of things. Wasn't this place occupied by the Defense Force not too long ago? That's right, they withdrew after learning that the President was taken into custody. With all the chaos that's broken out around the state, we need them to place their full attention on settling things down. Once they cleared out, reinforcements from Police HQ arrived to help quash any lingering disturbances here. It's good to hear. Hey, Juan, if you don't mind my asking, what happened to old Garcia? That's right, he was Lloyd's accomplice during his daring prison escape, wasn't he? Yeah, I really owe him one for lending me a hand back there. Wait, what am I doing? I just admitted my guilt at the scene of the crime. Actually, your detainment was deemed unlawful the moment President Qual was apprehended, so no harm, no foul. No need to worry your head over it at all, especially when there are far more pressing matters at hand. As far as Garcia goes, he put up a fight against the Defense Force and was eventually restrained. We have him back in his old cell where he's currently undergoing treatment. Treatment? If he fought the Defense Force alone, he must be exhausted to the bone at the very least. He's going to be bedridden for some time, yes, but if you'd like to visit him, I could arrange for that. What do you say, Lloyd, should we? I should thank Garcia for what he did for me back then. I'd appreciate that, Juan. Sure thing, I'll have Melvin guide you there. Visitation is 10 minutes maximum. As the inmate is currently injured, you have been granted special permission to greet him in his cell. Keep in mind that making direct contact with the incarcerated party or exchanging objects of any kind is strictly prohibited. Understood? Alright then. Rossi, you have visitors. Send them in. Hello, Garcia. We meet again, kid. Good to see you managed to round up your pals. Hello there, big fella. You sure you should be sitting up right now? Heard you had a pretty nasty run-in with the Defense Force. Nasty for them, perhaps? I've been better. One I could call a bare-knuckle brawl against rifles and stun halberds stacked in my favor. Hell, just sitting up was a struggle. What an embarrassment I am. Given what you endured, the fact that you can move at all is impressive. After seeing what the killing bear can do firsthand, I'm not surprised. That said, this appears to be the extent of his range of motion at present. I still owe you my thanks, Garcia. If you hadn't helped me escape this place back then... Not sure how I ever would have found my friends, let alone make it this far. Lloyd, you came all the way here just to say that? I told you, our little partnership was over the second we got past the front gate of the prison. In my eyes, you're still the punk bastard who took down Ravash. That ain't ever gonna change, got it? So you say, but that doesn't mean I can't express my gratitude. So thank you, Garcia. It's because of you that all of us are together again. And now that we are, we're going to reach for the truth, resolve this incident, and protect Crossbelt. I promise you that. Makes me sick to my stomach how much you remind me of him. You can see it in your eyes, the tenacity, the way he went throwing the towel no matter what anyone said, or how hard his ass got beat. You're the spitting image of your brother, Bannings, through and through. Damn, old man. I'll take that as a compliment. Can't believe you got me to say that sappy garbage out loud. Don't you have somewhere else to be right now? Can't make good on that promise if you're hanging out here. So go on, beat it. Right, I get the message. Let's go, everyone. Damn, old Bear is holding it together a lot better than I thought he'd be. You're right, I'm sure he'll be fully recovered and back on his feet before long. Still, the real surprise was seeing Garcia Rossi, of all people, dish out a pep talk. It's definitely changed since we first met. With all the crazy things he's gone through this year, I think it only makes sense. What? Why are you all looking at me like that? The way you said that, do you sincerely believe that it has nothing to do with you? Lloyd does have that kind of effect on people. Huh? Come on, man. Being a babyface lady killer is one thing. But did you seriously become a bear a bear tamer while you're behind bars too? Some things never change. There's actually not that many left. Well, would you look at that? You kids have given me a whole buffet of peculiar dishes by now. That should be more than enough to help the forensics class out with their training. Thanks for really cooking up a storm. Don't mention it, Juan. Really, we don't want them looking for us. Always happy to lend a hand to the old alma mater. Commendable as ever, aren't we? You haven't changed a bit since those days, Lloyd. But at the very least, let me give you something as a token of my appreciation. It's an Enigma 2 course that we recently put into service. They provided us with one extra, so I want you to have it. Shroud. Thanks, Juan. We'll be sure to make good use of it. It's the least I can do for all your help. Next time I need a hand, I'll know who to call. So if you remember, we have Shroud already. It's on Wazy. But it's an extremely powerful quartz. It's like 3 of every element. If only I could probably squeeze it here on her. Change view. We gain Quake, Shadow Blade, Dark Matter, Galleon Tower, and A Reflex. And then if we were to put it here, like if we were going into battle with her, we get Diamond Dust, Eschaton, Magna Blaze, Arrow Sickle, Aerial. Like, Eschaton, I don't know if that's actually, like, the best of the water moves. We can peek real quick. Yeah, you can see it right there. 460 EP. Some of these things are just insane in terms of cost. Yeah, 460, 460, 400. So yes, our work is not over yet. I'm going to put a small break right here, and when we pick up, we'll be going to the final part of our patrol. So I'll see you guys in a moment again. Okay, off to Michelin we go. So this is our final stop. Would be awesome if there's like a hidden enemy in the water we could go fight, but we already took care of the one hidden enemy there earlier, so... Yeah, it's empty. Door is locked, door is locked. Oh, we could take some swimsuits, no one's here to stop us. Huh. Residential area sealed off too. It's gonna be a much shorter tour than I thought. Well, patrol, I mean. Yep, not even 1 minute in after I restarted this, and phone's beeping. Things have gotten pretty dusty around here during our absence. That blue tree off in the distance still makes me uneasy, but I'll do what I can to clean up the place. Staff and I have returned to check in on the hotel now that things have settled down in the city. That being said, the enormous blue tree is even more unsettling from up close. Needless to say, Michelin won't be able to reopen like this. That giant tree is looming right over this place, but the staff still come here to work. That's bravery right there. Me, as soon as I'm finished with the maintenance, I'm getting the hell out of here. So I just want to make sure that there isn't something here I need him to make. We should only be missing a few quartz. I don't believe I missed any master quartz, so if they count towards... Oh my god, that would suck. The thing that I just realized that would screw everything up is if the master quartz have to be maxed for them to count towards the quartz list. There's no way I'd get that done. Heard that Speaker McDonald was one of several who were confined to the state guest house. That wasn't terrible enough. The people keeping them there were the Jaegers who attacked the city. The president has no excuse for any of this, even if it was all in the name of our independence. And it's time. Those books you have on you, would they happen to be from the Sunshine Agnes series? I see them around the city from time to time. What? You mean these novels? They are. Just so happens that we've gathered every volume. Isn't that wonderful? I've had the pleasure of leafing through one of them before. It was quite an insightful read. The story is fiction, of course, but I couldn't help feeling a bit of kinship with the heroine. In any case, I've decided to remain here as a spectator to these events unfolding in Crossbell. That series would make for a lovely bit of light reading to pass the time with. We do have the entire collection. Should we hand it over to her? Nope. Let's hold on them for now. Okay, I had to stop for a week, but we need to knock out the video. There's only a few minutes left, I believe. Those books you have, they're from the Sunshine Agnes series, yes? I see them around Crossbell from time to time. Incidentally, I've decided to remain here as a spectator to these events unfolding in Crossbell. That series would make for a lovely bit of light reading to pass the time with. Here you are, miss. We'd like for you to have these. Oh, are you positive about this? If Lloyd thinks so, then yes. Most of them we received as gifts anyway. Yep, so go ahead, babe. Read your heart out. If you insist, I'll gladly accept them. Hand it over the complete series. It would be rude of me to accept these without offering you anything in return. And I couldn't possibly have that, so please take this. Zemurian Ore. Wait, is this? It fell into my hands some time ago in my other line of work. You may take it if you'd like, though I cannot say for sure. I cannot say if you'll find a use for it. Are you sure you're okay with that? This seems like it could be valuable. Oh, it's quite alright with me. After all, I am but a witness to how this turmoil in Crossbell will unfold. Granting you this small gift should hardly qualify as interfering. Ignore me, I'm simply thinking aloud. Be sure to take good care of it. We will, thank you very much. So, Bewitching Bell? Yes, that is an Ouroboros member on the couch. Shiro's rival at that. Locked. But luckily we can go deeper into the park, you know? No one's staying here at the gate to keep people out. Lots of Ouroboros grass. Let's turn back, there's nothing for us over there right now. How about this one? How about this one? So yeah, we don't really know how Lloyd knows there's something over here. I should show the side routes, shouldn't I? So let's assume you came this way instead. You can see the archaisms are still here and they still blow up really easy. Although it dropping, yeah. If you look at the space sepith, that's double digits. Like, the first one was like 24, the second one was 19. It's a little ridiculous. If you want to get the Million Mira achievement, you may just need to do that a few times. Although that one sucked. But yeah, I don't want to pad this out any longer. Zemurian Ore Shard. Unfortunately, there's no elevator, so yeah. Let's get out of here before Luciola changes her mind. Preferably off the island, you know, just so we know we're safe. And I don't think Lucille has made an appearance in the series ever since this game, because she was in the Sky, and well, Sky 2, I don't think she made an appearance in 3. So this would have been her second appearance in the series, and her last as of this date. Actually, let me read the sign real quick. 'Cause I didn't think of that there would be something different. Well, there wasn't, but I didn't think to check. Or if I did, I don't remember checking it. Hence why it intrigued me at the last second. Anyway, the way out is over here. And we'll hop on over to downtown. Great jumpin' Dream Rat. I don't know how that word is actually pronounced. Dream Rats. Is that a Zemurian ore? I can make you open like you've never seen before with that thing. Heck, I can get started right away if you want. What do you say? Sure, let's do it. No, that's what I'm talking about. I can only make one at a time, so think long and hard about what kind of weapon you want. So, we're gonna take Infinity with Lloyd. You got it, pal. Time for my skills to shine. Alright, it's done. Go on, take a look. Thank you very much, Mr. Gilliam. We'll put this to use. No sweat, Detective. Anytime I get to handle materials fine as Zemurian ore is a blessing in my book. You use that to get the situation in Crossbelt back under control, you hear? Strong arms of the law unlocked. So in case you're wondering what Infinity is... yeah. So I just realized I still had effort on him. If we go ahead and put the Emerald Gem back on, you can see we will go all the way up to a perfect 100 evade. No need to tweak anything. 15, 20 for 35, 10 more for 45, 10 more for 55, and then 20 for 75, and then that one, the one quartz. I knew it began with Q, I just blanked. I blame the early morning for this. Let's set the even 100. So it's up to you if you want to do it this way, but there are other combinations that can get you your 100 evade. I just prefer something that makes them really, really fast, too. Now, as for the other weapons, I'm going to pull up a list. Give me a moment, I have to pull everything up. Okay, so looking at the weapons for Lloyd, in the final dungeon there is a weapon that gives him 10% evade, but we need the 15 to hit the perfect 100. If you missed a book, you don't want to get the ores, or the shards to make the ore, you can get by with Mjolnir, which is his other weapon, but Infinity is by far the ultimate. The other cool part about Infinity is it does boost his speed further if you didn't see. Okay, for Ellie, her final dungeon weapon just gives her accuracy. If you get her Zemurian weapon, it will boost her range by 2, her crit by 20, and her accuracy by ultimately 100%. So overall, it's not really that great compared to someone like Tio. So her Azure weapon gives her 15 additional art strength, but if you go for her Zemurian weapon, you get 50 arts instead. For Randy, his one at the final dungeon gives you 20% burn chance. If you get his Zemurian one, you have a 20% chance of death blow. For Noelle, just to explain the difference between hers... Oh, if that's true... Wow. Okay, so actually, her final dungeon weapon gives her accuracy. Her ultimate weapon does not give her any sort of accuracy modifier, but gives her range and petrify. Wazy here. So, let me pull him up, because he was the one that I was looking at getting the other one for. So here's a Vesta, if you wanted to see it. We could make the Aura Grip here, but I lose out on evade for strength, which makes no sense to me. You get this out of the Moon Temple. You can get Arcadia in the final dungeon, which will actually match the evasion of this, but have more crit and strength. Or, you can get his Zemurian weapon, which gives him more strength, more evade, and more crit. Since, like, you counterattack when you evade, I'm leaning towards that one because he can actually put the power to use and everything. Compared to Dudley, who I haven't shown at all, he's in the same boat as Noelle, where he gets accuracy with his dungeon weapon, but his Zemurian weapon will give him crit. And then for Risha, I actually have her here. So here's Goma Shiranui from Stargazers. Her final dungeon weapon has 666 strength and 10% death blow. And then if you go for her Zemurian weapon, she gets 777 strength and 25% chance of death blow. So, yeah. Hopefully you understand why the other one I want is Wazy. Dear Goddess Almighty, do you manage to find 5 whole Zemurian Ore Shards? I can make you a weapon like you've never seen before with those things. Heck, I can get started right away if you want. What do you say? Let's do it. Now that's what I'm talking about. You can only make one at a time, so think long and hard about what kind of weapon you want. I guess in theory you could get another Infinity if you wanted, but we're gonna go for the 7th arm. Yeah, pal, time for my skills to shine. It's all done. Things being what they are, I'm sure it'll come in handy. Now go out there and get them. We will, thank you. And you can take it back to the church with him when it's all said and done. So before I put the break in the video, so here's all of Sunshine Agnes, gave us 100 points. And here's the Strong Arms of the Law, which gave us another 100. So if you're able to get the books, it gives you 200 points towards the New Game Plus shop. So hopefully it's a little bit of an incentive to motivate you to go and do that. But otherwise, that's it for now, folks. When we pick up next time, we'll be knocking out the final side quests of the game, and then it's showtime. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.